Hi Leo, welcome to February. It is Aquarius season, and the card that came out first that signifies your energy, specifically Leo, is the King of Swords, which is the card of Aquarius. So Aquarius stuff all around. And I'm getting a sense that you are really starting to understand so much about yourself and so much about the stuff that you've really gone through other people's lives. Meaning you're looking at other people, you're experiencing other people, you're working with other people, and they're telling you things and they're behaving in a certain way and they're saying certain things, and it's making you realize, like, wow, I've come so far. And thank goodness I've already gone through that. And I sense that your past devil situations and your past shadow work is really actually stepping into the limelight and saying, Leo, you're so much more evolved. Not than other people, maybe some people, but it's not really a comparison game, but it's more, you're so much more evolved than you ever thought you could be. The energy around you, which I always say is the environment, is the High Priestess card. So the High Priestess energy is one of intuition. Let's just keep it very simple. It's intuition. And there's going to be circumstances, scenarios, conversations where you're really going to have that Cancerian 12th house power that you have. And also, I mean, the Leo energy is also highly intuitive as well. So you got like a double whammy of that, of like really being able to feel the energy in the room, to feel the intentions behind people's tone of voice. And you're just going to be able to really cut right through the nonsense and get to the crux of an issue, as we see with the sword energy of the King of Swords. I just don't think there's any fooling Leo right now. There's no getting anything past them. There's no way. It's just like not even a possibility that anyone's going to be able to sneak things by you this month. And I think you're going to be like really reading people to the bone. And it's great to be able to do that. But if you're not going to do it in a beneficial way or in a way that's actually going to help them or guide them, I would suggest just keeping your mouth closed. Because I think there's a person, Empress Reverse came out in the reading, that is really needing your leadership right now. It's needing your guidance, needing your advice. And if you can offer your talents and your wisdom in a way that can really, really be beneficial to someone else's growth and overall abundance and overall happiness and joy, then you're going to be in an even better position. So I'm going to do this reading a little backwards than I normally do. Normally I go like row by row, or I'll skip around a little bit. I'm going to actually start at the very bottom row. And the reason why is because we get the Devil card, and for some reason there's so many colors in this reading. It's like yellow and red and orange and blue. It's just so bright and brilliant. And then there's this one black card, just real heavy. But this is the 6th house work that you've been doing as we've been doing all this Capricorn stuff. As the suns come through Capricorn, we did a Mercury, now we've got Jupiter in there, we've had the nodes, we've had Saturn and Pluto. I mean, 6th house is a real tough house. It's a house of constantly judging yourself and criticizing yourself and always trying to bring your best to the table all the time, and always kind of giving up of oneself for the sake of the greater good. And that's all, good stuff, but it can be real draining and real exhausting. But it's because you've gone through this stuff in this particular house placement that you are so valuable. That all of this dark shadow work, seeing the worst of yourself, having relationships that have brought out the worst in you, having really hard parental, and co-working relationships and drama and bureaucracy and all the whole thing is actually allowing you to blossom. You went through the darkness of the storm, and now the sun comes into the 7th house and you're starting to feel like, wow, I think I really got the hang of this. Saturn in the 6th is I think it's a really great placement because it does bring out our ambition. It does bring out our work ethic. And while we can feel like, oh my God, I'm way overworking and I'm so overbalanced in that area, there's success that comes from it. And as Saturn is now leaving Capricorn and will do, and into 2020, will enter into Aquarius, I think you'll really start feeling the beneficial effects of all of your hard work. So now I'm going to bring out the whole bottom row, because I'm looking at this page of coins here, and I think those are the little golden nuggets that you have, one little piece at a time. I don't see Leo going way overboard and pushing themselves on anyone and saying, I know best. I don't see any of that. I see Leo being in a position where someone says, hey, Leo, like, I'm having this issue, I'm having this problem. Like, is there anything you got for me? Any ideas? And you say, yeah, here's one, bink. And you just give them one. Because I know you're very cautious of feeding into people's problems. I know you don't want to get your hands dirty with that kind of stuff, right? The detachment of the King of Swords. You don't want to be responsible for anyone else's problems and anyone else's issues, but you also have compassion that they are just living their story and that's it, and it's perfectly fine. So you're treading very lightly right now, and I think it's maybe even a feeling of being on eggshells a little bit, but it's not inconvenient. Leo is always a sign that's willing to help, sometimes to their detriment, because that constant wanting to give can sometimes get taken advantage of, but you also are, I'm not gonna, it's not like a Piscean total self-sacrifice kind of energy. It's more like, I'm willing to share, I am willing to give, but only as much as I'm able to do, and you know when to set those limits, which is great. So I see you setting those limits very well, and I see you, saying and drawing the line and saying, look, I'm just going to give you one little thing. I'm going to give you a page of coins. In spite of my arsenal of gold, here's one little thing, and do what with it that you may, whatever you want, I don't think you're really attached to any outcomes right now. I don't think not saying you're not looking toward the future, but I don't think that you're so attached to the idea that you have for your future that you're not open to revision right now. I think you are very open to revision with the moon energy. You're very open to what all this stuff has really taught you. You're open to the mystery of life right now. And if you're a Leo who's really struggling with the not knowing, and you'll see as I get to the rest of the reading, it's going to be so beneficial for you to just look around at your life right now and be like, oh my God, thank God I am where I am. I am so fortunate. I am so lucky. And I'm going to enjoy this always. I'm always going to enjoy where I am. So I know you paid your dues, but because you paid your dues, now I'm going to go up to the second column. You are reaping the rewards, and the wheel of fortune always brings multitude of things. It's not just money, it's love, it's friendship, it's new job openings, it's new locations, and it's just an overall wave of enjoyment and fulfillment. I feel like you feel that the time is ripe, and you just are sensing the turnover of energy. Like the world has turned over, the wheel of fortune has turned over, and now all of a sudden the shadow gives way to the light, right? The devil gives way to the wheel of fortune. The resistance gives way to the flow. And 2020, while there is still going to be hard work that needs to be done, and there are new foundations that need to be established, it's somehow fluid in how those foundations come to be laid. And like I said, you're coming at this with an arsenal of gold, an arsenal of wisdom, talent, skills. And I think the 9 of coins was very well earned. It's not going anywhere, because now that 9 of coins is a part of you. This is the first column, by the way. It's a part of you. It's ingrained. It's now a part of who you are. It's something that no one can take away. They can take away the external stuff, but they can never take away who you are from you. So that's what the Nine of Coins is really all about. It's about how you feel about yourself and how you feel when you walk into a room, and how you feel when people come to you and ask for help. But you also know there are limits, and I don't see Leo being afraid of exercising those limits and setting limits on other people. Sorry, I don't know why my camera, I keep changing it and then it keeps like reverting back to the default. I don't know why it's so faded. But anyway, the colors are really bright. Hopefully you'll see when I put the camera down. So right next to the Wheel of Fortune in the second row, we have the Ten of Cups, which also signifies that arsenal of gold from which you are operating. The Ten of Cups is a feeling of joy and gratitude. It's also about your people. Like, I don't know, you guys have probably been working really, really hard to make sure that your people are the right people, that your work environment, it's the right place, that your significant other is like the right kind of partner, the one that stands next to you, not the one that kind of puts you across from the table. So I know that you've made some pretty major decisions about who gets to stay and who gets to leave. And like, oh my God, when Leo has to make those kinds of decisions, I think it can be physically painful, like to cut someone, because oh my God, the love is just, So the physical pain, but you did it and it's good, and now you have positive influences in your life. And if you're still kind of here, that's okay, especially as we move into Saturn in the 7th later on in the year. There's going to be one-on-one kind of situations where you're going to have to be kind of brutally honest with other people too, and it might be hard to let go and it might be hard to establish new relationships, but when you do, they're going to be the kind of forever and always ride or die kind of people. So it's all kind of a big switch over, a big changeover here. Ten of Cups is it's always the place we want to be. So the person or people or situation, Empress reverse, I think is someone who hasn't quite figured it out yet, and they are still grappling with their own devil stuff, their own shadow stuff, their own ego stuff. And I sense a neediness. When she came out, I was like, someone is being really needy, or someone is being just really kind of silly. I don't know. When an Empress comes out, it always kind of rubs me like someone is just like so completely capable of being in their power, and they're just kind of choosing not to, which really is not going to fly with Leo, who is coming out as a King of Swords, but also coming out as an Emperor. So I feel strong Leo energy from both of these. It's very royal, it's very regal, it's a lot of self-respect and a lot of honor. And they're not going to, degrade themselves by coming down to the level of someone who is clearly has the potential to be empowered, like to the nth degree, but somehow they're just like choosing not to be. And they might be victimizing themselves a little bit, as she is her foundational card is the Moon. She might be, I say she because it's the Empress. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be a situation too. It doesn't have to be a female either. But I just sense that she's like wanting people to think that she's drowning. It's all like an act, I feel. That's why the High Priestess is coming out and saying, okay, I know you're going to be really empathic. It's kind of the environment. There could be some secret stuff happening. There could be some lying stuff happening. And you're going to have to be able to suss out truth from lies via your own intuition, because clearly you're not going to really be able to get that from this person. It's just not going to happen. So as you try to get someone to really tell you, like, what's the bottom of this? Like, where is the issue? Like, where is this really coming from? And why are you behaving this way? They're not even going to have an answer, because they don't even know, right? They themselves have such a lack of understanding of what's really going on inside of them. So, yeah, seriously, guys, I'm so sorry about my camera. I think it's like as the sun is moving in this direction, it's like getting closer to the camera, so it's getting lighter and lighter. Anyway, I always like it when my colors are more bright, but whatever. So, yeah. It's their journey, you know, it's their path, and there can't be judgment, which I see no judgment coming from Leo at all. These are not judgmental people, right? These are not judgmental energies. They don't care what people do with their life. They don't care what people do with their free will and with their choices. They just say, if you're going to choose to do this, that's fine, which is why, again, you're only offering one little tiny nugget here. Nothing more. Nothing less, but also nothing more. So the very last card in the top right is the Emperor. The Six of Cups, next to the Emperor. Six of Cups has a lot to do with the past life connection. So it's possible that this particular individual has a tie with you, some kind of an entanglement, meaning you guys are wrapped together. And they're in your life for a reason. And maybe the reason is because you now see when other people are going through their own devil stuff. Now you see when people are going through their own shadow work. And now you understand what it really means for them to be doing that. And you cannot do anything other than simply accept. And when we start to really accept one another, that's when we can really operate in unity with one another. But you also have to understand that this person isn't there yet. They are not at the place of acceptance. They are not at the place of unity or of understanding. So they might not really like you that much for some reason. They might throw a fit. They might get angry at your advice. They might be jealous of your success. They might be sad that you're leaving them behind as there's so much movement in your life. And that's fine. That's where they are. That's totally fine. It's going to be a need for a day-to-day kind of deal. And as we're making our way into the Mercury retrograde, you know, Mars is going to be entering into Capricorn too, you know, so there's going to be some more truths coming out. There's going to be some kind of interesting things that happen. And I just don't think Leo has any desire to really accept any responsibility for things that really aren't their responsibility, which is good. So let's go ahead and put the camera down. We will plot the oracle cards and the clarifiers for the comprehensive. See you in a sec. Okay, Leo, so now you can see how all the cards are actually situated. So you can see how kind of out of place this devil is, but it's still like because of this, all of this other stuff is able to happen. So let's take a quick look at this King of Swords, which is you, and look at these moon energy cards and see what other additional information we can gather here. Nothing is yet set in stone. Yeah, like, thank goodness. I don't know that we ever want things set in stone, really, when it comes to life. I think we always want things to be, you know, kind of exciting and adventurous. And, you know, I know that you can feel this wheel of torture. Sorry, that was a weird Freudian slip there. The Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune to start turning over. And I know that you're going to enjoy this state of flux. But also in turn, I think the outcome of this particular dynamic and this person's journey is also not set in stone, which means it's not at an end point. It's evolving, it's ever changing, and for that you must be compassionate and intuitive, and you must be able to see deeper than the behavior and deeper than the tone of voice, and you have to be able to accept that their rate of growth is different than yours. So let's take one more look here. And again, that's perfect King of Swords energy because he don't care. Like, he really does not care. He's here for himself and that's it. And it doesn't have to be in a bad, selfish, negative way. I think the overarching theme of self-reliance is a big thing here going on. Fulfillment of wishes. Because you've got your own stuff going on, your Wheel of Fortune, right? You've got your own good things going. Your fulfillment of wishes, I mean, like, does it get any more clear than these cards here? I don't think it does. So let's take a closer look with the clarifiers now. For those of you who are new to my channel, we talk for another 20 to 25 minutes about the cards I'm about to pull out. The link will be down below in the description box. So let's take a look at this King of Swords now. Oh, another King of Swords. Well, there you go. And one more. Okay. It's interesting how a lot of energies this month are coming in from kind of a melancholy place. And it's with that state of melancholy, right? Capricorn, same thing, right? That Capricorn melancholy vibe. It does us a lot of favors in the detachment department. And it puts responsibility back onto our own shoulders. Beautiful. Let's look at the Emperor now. See, you know that the Empress is perfectly capable of a 9 of coins. Like, that's not a surprise. One more for that. 6 of Cups now. It's going to be a really good thing for you to do this Page of Coins thing and see what the Empress does with it. Knight of Coins, 4 of Coins. Wow, Queen of Coins. Let's do one more. I just really hope that no one tries to make you feel guilty for the good things you've got going on in your life. That's one thing I definitely hope. Wow, we're getting so many contrasting things here. This is crazy. Okay, there's the card of Leo. Look at the Devil. Page of Coins. Ah, see? This is like a teach a person to fish kind of situation. Beautiful. Oops, hold on. I didn't mean to pull out that many, but that's okay. Death reverse, 9 of Wands, Knight of Cups. And another Emperor, 2 of Swords, and a King of Coins. Okay, excellent. So this is where we'll pick up when we turn the camera, and bottom of the deck, 9 of Coins. When we turn the camera back on for the comprehensive. All right, see you in a sec. Thanks.